right, good morning. Welcome into another edition of Catching Up with Tommy Mac here on 1010XL's podcast platform in the 1010XL podcast studios, of course, and always great to be here. You can catch it Facebook Live on 1010XL's page and my page as well. Good morning to everybody out there. Archived all over the place, YouTube, Spotify, wherever you watch, listen to podcasts, it's all right there. It's also at 1010XL.com and on their app. This show brought to you by Chris Lucero's Bail Bonds, the number one name in the bail game. I know Chris personally, I've been telling you this story. He helped us out for a family friend, and man, shining light in a time of darkness, I tell you what. And he took care of business right away. He's a great guy. I know him personally. Met him a long time ago at Florida-Georgia weekend. He always hosts this unbelievably cool party right there in RV City. I mean, he does it every year. Got music, got great. I mean, it's just awesome. Just a really does a lot in the community. In St. Augustine, also a office in Clay County. Of course, J-Dog Junk Removal and Hauling. Yep. I need a little bit bigger hat, but that's all right. It'll work for this time around. Anything you need moved out of the way, junk, anything, they will come. And nothing too small, nothing too big. They'll come. They'll take care of it. They'll haul it out for you. Some of the stuff they'll refurbish. Recently, they refurbished 4 motorized wheelchairs and gave them to veterans. So that's a great thing, and you can check them out at jdogjunkremoval.com. And I got to announce real quick, this is gonna be great for everybody out there that likes to eat steak. So an old friend of mine from the beach, his name's Mark, comes out to me. He's like, "Yo, Tommy Mac, would you try this steak?" So he gives me this New York strip and these beef strip things. So I'm like, yeah. Listen, man, I'll try it. And he's thinking that, man, if you like it, you'll promote it, whatever. I said, well, I gotta like it, blah blah blah. Anyway, so I served it on Father's Day, and the strips are like little tiny things. I didn't put any seasoning or nothing. I'm just put them in a skillet. Put them over rice. Anyway, phenomenal. It's straight from the ranch. I got a deal for you. This is what it's all about. If you text pound 55 meat, which is great. My brothers call me meat for short of meathead. Pound 55 meat to 904-234-4893. You'll learn more about it, man. Some of the best. No hormones, no antibiotics, just clean beef. And I don't need a ton of beef, but when I do, man, it's got to be tasty. And it sure was from the River Bend Ranch. All right, lots to get into. It's summertime, summertime. Happy summer. A lot of people on vacation right now, which is awesome. We are going up next Friday. Graham, good morning to you, my man.
Good morning, sir.
How are you? We're going up to Nashville. My oldest is moving to Nashville.
Oh, nice.
So getting a job. We're going to drive up and after the media duties on Friday and get her situated. She will not become a Titan fan. Do not worry about it. It was funny. I didn't tell you this quick story at the dance recital a week ago. Paul Pazlezzi, his kids go to the dance. They're in the dance studio, and he comes down at the same time. I'm with my Avery, my oldest. And I shake his hand. It was real quick because they're dimming the lights. You got to get to your seat. So, hey, Paul, how you doing? Doing great. All right, blah, blah. And we go, and Avery, we sit down. She's like, she whacks me. She's like, Dad. I said, what? She's like, that was Paul. I'm like, oh, I totally forgot you had a huge crush on Paul Pazlezzi. I just totally. I even got her 51 jersey back when she was younger because she was always a huge fan.
I don't think she was the only female around Jacksonville that had a crush on Paul.
Definitely. He's such a good guy, man. Such a good dude. All right, NBA draft. We're not going to talk about it. I didn't follow. We talked about me and Graham did. I don't know anything about this 7'5" kid except like over the weekend I saw a little clip of him doing this shake with the ball, and I'm like, wow, he's what? He's 7'5", unbelievable. The NBA draft is over, of course. Major League Baseball. Any good fights lately? That's all I really care about at this time. Any good bench clearing brawls? I know a lot of people get into it first play. They got a long way to go, man. Long way to go. I love baseball. I love it live more than TV. But nonetheless,
what about college baseball?
Yeah, the Gators,
the Florida Gators.
Yeah, I haven't. You know what? I turned on. Who was on? I just had it on. It wasn't the Gators. I was hoping it was Oral Roberts and TCU.
Yeah,
and TCU were killing them like 6-0 or something like that. So I just had it on in the background. At home I work from the house a lot. But yeah, congrats to the Gators and good luck, man. Final Four, right? They in Final Four?
Championship.
Oh, they're in the championship.
Yeah.
Oh, they won the first game in the Final Four. I didn't know they were that far.
Yeah,
oh,
they
right.
beat TCU to advance to the championship.
And who are they playing?
LSU. LSU beat Wake Forest last night.
All right. And when's the game?
The first game is that I'm not sure of.
Is it best of 3?
Yeah, best of 3.
All right, cool, man. Congrats, Gator fans and LSU fans if you're out there. Hey, that's awesome. A lot easier said than done. All right, real quick before we get into the Jags. UFC Fight Night returns to Jacksonville. It's awesome. I love it. I don't watch every UFC fight. I don't, but I got a lot of respect for the fighters. Jaguars' own Austin Lane is on the undercard. He's got a UFC contract. He's on the undercard. He's fighting Justin Tafa, 2 big heavyweights. Knockout power, the whole deal. I saw Austin at one of the alumni events recently and just talked to him about it. And he's a tough dude, man. He's a tough dude. He's telling me about how his nose gets broken all the time. It's just no big deal. And I'm like, God, man, just keep getting hit in the face. But he's a tough guy. And going against a tough guy, listen, he calls it beautiful violence is what he's going to bring to the table. We're pulling for you, Austin. Love that the fact that you're even doing that. He's 35 years of age. He's 12-3. And look, he signed a contract with Dana White. It's phenomenal. Hopefully he can keep it as well. He needs a victory, of course, this Saturday. I saw where the Jets starting safety tore his ACL, done for the year. Listen, man, he can get hurt at any time. Anytime. Unbelievable. Chuck Clark is his name. They acquired him from Baltimore in a trade. He was going to be their guy. Unbelievable. Too bad. And I saw where 2 of the Dolphins quarterbacks taking jiu-jitsu, help them with falling. You know, they roll. I get it. Like, maybe there's something to that. Or maybe as the guy's coming at you can throw a little jiu-jitsu move on him and flip him and make him fall. You know, defend your fall. That's the thing. Will he be concentrating on falling or throwing? Hey, listen, before he got hurt, they were doing pretty damn well. And his offense was rocking. So if he can stay healthy, they'll have a good year again. Not better than our Jags. Of course. All right, Jags, I talked on Tuesday. We talked more offense. I think everyone's still the biggest concern on offense is the O-line. Although Phil Ross, I saw on Jaguars.com, they got a solid group, and I agree with them. I mean, look, we got to see how Harrison works out and Walker Little. I like how they're talking about they can interchange them. Walker at guard if they need him. Cam comes back. Hey, look, if you got 6 or 7 that can, help you, and one goes down, the other guy just flops, comes right in and fills that void. That's a great thing to have. I feel, look, Shatley does a good job too, man. Fortner should be better. Whoever wins that left guard, but if it is Shatley, he can help. He can play center, he can play guard, right? So you're comfortable with him. Of course, Scherf is a beast, and he should be healthy. Had an abdominal issue late in the year, but we'll see, man. We'll see. Okay, let's get into the defense. Look, biggest concern is what? It's pass rush, right? Who's going to be our top pass rushers? It should be Josh Allen and Trayvon Walker. They should be number 1 and number 2, however that works out. We need that. We need both of them to be our leaders in whatever, hits, sacks, pressures, the whole gamut, just being in the backfield. But who's next? Like, who are we counting on next to be the guy? Look, Foley Fadasaki, if he's healthy, he's got to stay healthy. Got to stay healthy. Number 1 thing for Foley. He's got to be healthy. Because when he was healthy, he was disruptive. If you watch, and it wasn't a lot because it was very sporadic, but towards the end of the year, he was healthy. He was making things happen in the backfield.
It was the beginning and the end of the year that he played more due to health, and that defensive line looked like a top defensive line in football. Yeah. And then there were games where he wasn't out there, and it looked like there were a lot of games he wasn't out there.
He wasn't out there for a good stretch, man.
Correct.
It felt like, right?
And it was kind of that middle, a big middle portion of the season for a long time.
Yeah.
Even games they won that he wasn't quite back yet, where the defensive line was just.
Yeah. He's one of the keys. Obviously, Hamilton's got to keep going. He played. Roy Robertson. They all played better the last quarter of the year. Last month of the year, if you will, last 4 games plus, the playoffs. Interesting, look, I'm going to get into more players as well, but you say stop, everyone's like, no, you don't need to stop the run. We always say, yeah, until you need to stop the run. You go back to the Kansas City game. Sure, Mahomes in his big plays killed us. Travis killed us, but you know who killed us? Pacheco, we couldn't stop him at all. He gashed us for big yards, man. That was a big problem. We could not stop him whatsoever.
That one big 50-yard run he had was devastating.
No doubt.
And you think about that run, Derrick Henry's done this to the Jags 1,000 times over the years. Get the handoff, run right up the A gap, run into a bunch of traffic, and then just kind of slip out.
Bounce.
Yep. And by that point, everybody's crashed.
Yeah. And no corner's taking him down anyway for the most part.
No, so it's just, if you're a defensive lineman, you got to get behind those offensive linemen and bring that back down.
Yeah, no doubt.
Just being there and having the running back just run into the butt of his offensive lineman, that's not tackling.
No, you got to get him down. You got to get down on the ground. But it's funny, everyone's talking about that, but I'll go back to that game. That was big for us. So Foley's definitely a key. There's no doubt in my mind. He's got to stay healthy. Roy Robertson-Harris, I expect him to be very productive, early, middle, all throughout the year. He's obviously has that capability. Look, there were games where none of the D-line was really playing that well. They were getting tossed around. They were getting moved. I remember after games last year, I'd be like, yeah, no, they pushed them around. They didn't get killed score-wise, but I didn't like that physicality. They didn't show up. The Philly game was the first one, if you remember, me complaining about that. Like, everyone's like, oh, because there was the turnovers, it was wet and all this stuff. I was like, man, they punched us in the mouth on defense. And it wasn't right away. It was like the score was like they had a score, we had a score. It was, it was like towards the end of the first quarter, beginning of the second quarter. And then they're like, screw it, we're coming right at you. And we couldn't stop them. The Giants did that to us in the second half, Saquon and Daniel Jones. I mean, there were games where we were getting pushed around and moved, not the way you should be as a defense.
I don't know if this is just most defenses in the league are, I think, kind of also fall into this category, but quarterbacks that have a lot of mobility, killed us.
Oh yeah, Daniel Jones killed us.
Daniel Jones and Saquon, their 1-2 game, hurts.
Yep.
Their little package where they
Miles Sanders had a humongous game against us, if you recall.
Whenever there was more than one ball carrier that the Jaguars had to worry about, that defensive line really had a tough time.
and Mahomey.
And linebackers, too, they're involved as well there. So
absolutely. So, look, we're counting on those guys to, and I know they grabbed some veterans, Mondo, and who's the other guy they grabbed?
Michael Dogby.
Dogby, thank you. They're going to provide depth. Maybe these young guys, maybe Lacey can find a way in there, the young kid, the rookie. But that's going to be big. And then you get to the linebackers. Look, I expect Lloyd and Muma to really make a jump. And I think Lloyd's going to have more opportunity, but, hey, I think Muma's going to be needed as well. But they got to take a big jump. Aluakin's going to be like he is. He's been one of the top tacklers in the game, whether he's playing for Atlanta, whether he's playing for the Jags, whatever. You expect him to continue on. He's good against the pass. He's good against the run, and he can rush the passer, which I'll get to about that as well. But I'm expecting Devin Lloyd and Chad Muma to really take big jumps, and show why they were drafted where they were drafted, especially Devin Lloyd. Again, I'll get to what I want to see more out of them. Of course, look, I think our safeties, I love our safeties. I think Cisco, he's still a star in the making. He shows flashes at times. I think Jenkins had a monster year last year. He's still young. I expect it. I feel really confident about our safeties, without question, in my opinion. But it's going to come down to who are the five, and you got to include the nickelback. Right now it's Trey Herndon. Is it going to be someone else? Can he hold? He's the champ right now. You got to beat the champ to be the champ, right? I don't know if he can. We'll see. I think a lot of that goes with coverage, but Antonio Johnson's going to get a shot there. What's the kid from Rutgers? I know he was injured during mini camps or during the OTAs when we were out there. He was injured. Broswell from Rutgers. Can he play the nickel spot? Obviously, Tyson's a lock. He's one of the better guys in the game. No question about that. I expect him to get even better. And if they go back to my first Josh Allen and if they and the D-line can get pressure, and Mike called, just however you got to do it, you get pressure and force these QBs to make quick throws, not planned quick throws to get them in a rhythm, quick throws because the pressure's coming, the rush is coming. That's going to get it done, man. But, look, I would expect big improvement, out of the backers. Where's Miller fit in? Ventrell Miller. We'll see if he can cover. If he can really cover it, who knows? Maybe he gets more playing time than we're thinking. Abdullah, we'll see. He's got speed. If he can become a pass rusher, that'd be great off the bench. I mean, it's there. And hopefully we're not done yet. Maybe Smoot comes back. Be great. Maybe there's one of the vets that are still out there, free agent DEs that'll come here.
This is a pro Smoot podcast.
Oh, we love, yeah.
It always has
He's
been.
A Jag, man. He's Duval. He's Duval,
and he's
man.
A beast.
He is. He's
a beast, man.
He's just a worker.
Before he got hurt, he was their best defensive lineman.
Yeah, listen. It's funny. Every year, maybe last 3 years, you don't count him out. People weren't counting him out, but it wasn't like he was on the forefront. But he would always show up. He would always, be tough from again. And then
this time of year, he's never a guy you're talking about.
No, right.
And then October comes, and it's like that's your best guy.
Exactly. So hopefully, look, if he's healthy, I'm all for it. I think it'll be fantastic. Look, another thing. Look, I talk about Doug Peterson's, first year to second year. Same for Mike Caldwell. And I want to see more. I want to see more blitzes. Look, if you can find a way to get there with 4 consistently, obviously that's phenomenal. This would be icing on the cake. But when you do get there with 4 consistently, and then you add a 5th and a 6th, it's sack. They'll be so confused. They won't know what to do. If they're not worried about any one of your 4, like my 4 could take your 4, you bring an extra guy, so what? I'll pick them up. Then it's not as good unless you time it perfectly, like the Jenkins, blitz in the Titans game, like Cisco, they did a couple times off the edge. That's when you can really be effective with those things. So I would expect more pressure from Mike Caldwell. Look, we've got a nice secondary. Darius Williams, he held down the fort pretty darn good. You got it. Look, give credit where credit's due. This defense, again, I think it was after halftime at Dallas. Second half against Dallas, and then it just built from there to the loss against Kansas City. The defense played really well. They did. They made a lot of plays, a lot of game changing plays. So, they got. I'm not going to put them up there at top defense in the league. They got to earn that. I would say they're still probably bottom third with a lot to prove. But look, if you can get off the field on third down, that's going to be huge for this offense. We believe the offense is going to score a ton of points. Well, the more opportunities they have, the more points they're going to have. So that's got to be the motivation of this defense. Hey, man, we're so excited about who we have on offense. We're dying to give them the ball back. Like, we can't wait to be like, yeah, man, take the field. Here you go. There's a lot of pride in that. There's a lot of juice in that. You really take on that mantra of, hey, we've got firepower. We're going to score. Maybe we'll score ourselves, but if not, let's get off this field and give the ball back to our high potent offense as we all expect. So let's hope that happens. Look, camp's going to be fun. I got to get my credentials, by the way. I'm going to call Adriel down there and see what he'll do for me. But I definitely want to come check out camp. What am I looking at first? I'm looking at O-line and D-line. Absolutely. Without question.
The best day of camp is the first day of pads.
Without question.
It's not. I don't even think it's.
The best drill in the first day of pads is the O-line, D-line, one-on-one pass rush.
Not even close.
And you want to get up close and personal. I do. Those guys they're massive. It's like bears going at it. Freaking awesome, man. No doubt about it. All right, so I got to run. Got to jump on to Jaguars today with Mike Dempsey, Fat Tony, and I am E to the T, Emmanuel Thalleran. Looking forward to that. Talking all Jags. You can catch it live on the app if you're not here locally. And thanks to all the great sponsors. I appreciate you, man. Love it. Graham Marsh as well. Y'all have a great weekend. We're having a little sayonara was goodbye happy hour at the house for my oldest. You know.
It's not fun. A goodbye. It's a see you later.
Yeah, smell you later. Yeah, we'll be up there a lot, man. Are you kidding me? Nashville, I've only been a couple times, but only passing through. But great town. It's going to be great for her and her roommate.
Do you like country music?
Love it. I never used to. Like, it took me a while. Even when I was married to a girl from Mobile, my wife, first 10 years, I'm like, nah, you know. And then I think what did it was Aldine did it for me. Like, now I did like, it's funny. We listened to Alabama up in Chicago, which was, you got to have a fiddle in the band.
Yeah.
That lead guitars, that tune. Alabama's a good, they were good country. Arnett, not really.
You need to go.
No, I'm into Church. I like Jason Aldean. I like Eric Church
because they have a lot of rock bands at Kid Rock's bar on Broadway.
I like Kid Rock too.
They do country too there. They have country bands, but they got this giant stage for live bands, and they got live bands like every night
everywhere. Yeah,
and a lot of them are rock bands that are fantastic.
Yeah, can't wait.
So good.
Yeah. A couple of the dad bods were up there recently, and they were filming.
Love it.
Like, we got to do this.
Yeah.
Anyway, we shall see. All right, you have a great weekend, and hey, again, good luck to Austin Lane tomorrow, man. Hope you get it done, man. And continue that UFC dream. That is fantastic. And we're definitely pulling for you. Until next time, y'all stay safe and be cool out there. We'll see you right here on Catching Up with Tommy Mack. Peace.